Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the world of business books, but we're going to ask a very specific question. What do busy professionals actually need when they pick up a book on quality control? Are they looking for practical tools to get the job done, or do they want some grand, deep philosophy? When we buy workbooks, we want clear answers. We want to do our jobs better. But honestly, a lot of books just miss the mark. Today, we're going to find out exactly why that happens. So let me ask you this. When you sit down to read a book for your job, what is your actual goal? Do you want clear, simple facts to help you work faster? Or are you looking for deep ideas about life? Let's face it, most of us are incredibly busy. Our time is valuable. We read to solve immediate problems, right? So if a book gives us a big, sweeping philosophy when we just need a fast fact, well, it's frustrating. It really makes us feel like we just wasted our limited time. Section 1. Quality Control Book Reviews. To answer our question today, we're going to look at a real reader from back in September 2011. Now, this person works in manufacturing. They're reading to master quality control. And quality control is serious business. It's how factories make sure every single product is built perfectly, every time. But take a close look at the timeline on the right side there. They finished the first book on September 18th. Then, literally one day later, they finished the second one. Reading 2 heavy industry books in 2 days. This is a serious professional looking for urgent answers. And their honest reviews show us exactly what a busy worker thinks when a book lets them down. Section 2. Reading about molds. Okay, so the first book covers the Japanese mold industry. This industry is huge. It's the base for making almost all the plastic and metal parts in the world. Without it, modern manufacturing completely stops. But before we dive in, let's just make sure we all know exactly what a mold is. It's simply a hollow container used to shape liquid material. Think of an ice cube tray. You pour water in, freeze it, and the ice takes the tray's shape. Factories do the same thing. They pour hot plastic or metal into a mold, it cools down, and boom, you have a car door or a phone case. The reader picked up this book because they wanted to learn about the highly skilled people who make these exact tools. But let's read what the reader actually wrote in their review. They say, I wanted to know how the final product could change depending on the mold maker using the same drawing. The chosen book was a bit too general. You see, they had a very specific technical question. If 2 workers get the exact same drawing to make a mold, will the final parts be totally identical? Does a worker's personal skill change the final result? They needed hard facts, but instead the book just gave broad summaries. It failed to give them the tools they needed, and that left the reader stuck without the clear answers they needed for their job. Section 3. The Taguchi Method. So, after feeling pretty let down by that first book, our reader jumps right into the second one. They still need answers. Now, the second book is all about the Taguchi Method. This is a very famous system created by Genichi Taguchi. The main goal? Improve quality and cut down factory costs. It uses math and strict testing to find the absolute best way to build something so it won't break. It's a highly practical, global tool used to fix complex factory problems. Naturally, the reader hoped a book about this famous method would give them exactly what they were looking for. But here is where we hit a wall. The reader writes, I can understand the Taguchi method as a tool, but contrary to the book's claims, I cannot accept it as an ideology or philosophy. Wow, that is a powerful statement, right? The reader totally agrees that the method is a great, useful tool. But the author goes too far. They try to elevate this simple factory method into some grand philosophy for life, and the reader completely rejects that. Confusing a factory process with a deep philosophy is a massive mistake. It just shows the writer does not understand what the professional actually needs from them. Section 4. Tools versus philosophy. This points to a really interesting gap, the huge difference between a practical work tool and a big philosophy. Why does this confusion even happen? Well, authors often want their books to sound epic and important, so they take basic work tools and label them as philosophies. They think it sounds better. But working professionals know the difference. Look, a tool is helpful. It's easy to understand, you use it, it fixes a problem, and you go home. Philosophy is an entirely different thing. A true philosophy asks deep questions about life. A math formula just cannot do that. Pretending a tool is a philosophy, it just wastes the reader's time. And the reader makes a truly fantastic point about this. They argue that Genichi Taguchi and Florence Nightingale do not talk about human happiness. Because of that, we really shouldn't call their work a philosophy.
Now, both of these leaders created amazing systems. Taguchi saved factories tons of money. Nightingale organized hospitals and saved countless lives. But their work does not answer the ultimate question of how to be happy. Real philosophy has to care about human happiness. If a business book just tells you how to run a factory or a hospital, it's still just a tool. Words matter, and authors really need to use the right ones.
Section 5. What readers really want.
So what do we actually learn by putting these two reviews side by side? We learn exactly what professionals want. First, professionals want useful facts, not general talk. They need details they can use today to do their jobs better. Second, the book must match the task. If you buy a book to learn about mold drawings, you need hard facts about mold drawings. And third, a good tool is not always a deep philosophy, and you know what? That is perfectly fine. Workers need direct tools to get their work done, not grand ideas that don't solve today's problems. A great tool is completely powerful on its own.
Well, that brings us to the end of our explainer. But before we go, I want to leave you with a question. Think about it. Are your business books giving you tools, or are they giving you philosophy? Take a look at the books sitting on your own desk right now. Do they give you the clear, hard facts you need, or do they pretend to be something bigger than they actually are? Protect your valuable time. Demand the right tools for the job, and leave the deep philosophy for the weekend. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.